simple life. It doesn't have much. It doesn't worry him where you're going. Yeah, nowhere.
Alright, so I had somebody, I forgot their name, request a quick video of my GoldStar unit. 10,000 BTU unit from 1992. Now, I did just install this last weekend, about a week and a half ago, honestly, in this wall. There was a little plant bay window thing that was leaking, and it was making a mess, so I fixed some water damage, and now I'm doing the drywall, and I have to go get more drywall, but I work, so this is going to be like a project that's going to last for a little while. But it's in, it's sealed. And then the drywall is actually a little thicker than the original paneling, so I'm gonna replace all this with drywall anyway, so that'll make up the difference, because this paneling is very thin, honestly, and it's very brittle, and it's not very fun to work with, so I'm gonna replace all that. So pardon the appearance, because like I said, it's not done yet. I have to get more drywall, and I have to start ripping more of this paneling down, just working my way out, and I have to do that on my days off, which summer at my job is hell, so this is gonna end up probably lasting well into the fucking fall. Here's the information. I have a picture of the actual tag. 1992. This is before I'll insert the picture into the video of the tag, and I also have a video of the chassis slid out of the sleeve. This is a slide out unit that's designed to go in a window, or it could go through a wall. It might have not have been particularly designed for a wall, but it's a slide out chassis unit, so, and it's very deep too. So installing it in the wall is really not a hardship. It can still be pulled out to be serviced or repaired. Very well made unit. It's built just as well as the old units from the other units from the time, the WCIs. You know, what else did you have back then? Panasonics were good. I'm trying to think of comparable things. Friedrichs, but I don't like those units. I don't like the vintage ones. I don't like the newer ones. I think they're all garbage. So before someone rips into me about that, I'll explain my experience with them in another video if you really want, and why I absolutely refuse to use a Friedrich or however you say fucking unit. I don't care if it's vintage or not. They're all garbage in my opinion. But this thing had to compete with them and Fetters and WCI and among other brands. Not sure if Emerson Quiet Cools were still really a thing at this point. I think they weren't. I think by the early 90s they were now part of, I want to say Fetters was making some units under their name. Want the air temps, I'm not sure. But yeah, they had to compete with American and some Japanese units, which were, the American ones were the best built. The Japanese were pretty well built too. And the early Korean ones were good. I've seen this unit before. I found a catalog from 1992, but I never found the digital model. I found ones with regular analog or mechanical controls with knobs and shit. But I've never seen a digital model of this. The electronics look hand soldered inside, and I could probably completely rebuild all the electronics if I had to. You know, all of its bone standard parts, capacitors, resistors, diodes, all that shit. It's just basic, you know, parts, no service mount garbage, which is nice. Very quiet. The bearings are a slight bit hissy. They hiss a tiniest bit, but it's barely noticeable. I don't know how it picks up on the camera, but it works. There's a vent feature, which is almost a useless feature, but it's big enough on this one, and I know air goes through it, so I mean, it's not absolutely useless, but it does work. I think this one actually, from the way it looks, I never actually tested this, but the way it opens, I think it opens, the door opens like this way. So the air rushing over goes over and goes up over the door, and the open side of the door is away from the air. So I think it's actually using that idea just to pull in fresh air, and I think it actually does work. Let's see. It's a very good unit. It's very quiet. Compressor's a tiny bit louder than the WCI 8000 I had in my living room. And WCI was fine. That was actually going to go in the wall, but it was just a hair too small and it would not do the whole area. This will. This I don't believe ever had a remote or anything. I don't see a spot for an IR receiver. I never found a spot inside for an IR receiver, so I'm just assuming it never had a remote. It's just a digital unit. And a lot of the older electronic units were like this. It used to have a little thing here to adjust that, but that's gone. This only the one weird thing about this, it only goes down to 66 degrees, which was not uncommon for digital or even analog units back then. But the analog ones, you can adjust the range of the thermometer or the thermostat. It also goes up and down in 2-degree increments, and that's the temperature it's reading now. And keep in mind, it's almost 100 degrees outside. And I had the door open for a while, so it actually went up. It was actually at 70 before. It also reads in 2-degree increments, which is kind of weird, but it's kind of cool actually. Very quiet unit. The air swing, powered by a little synchronous motor. It's nothing special. It's a little synchronous motor in the top of the electronics bay. It has a clock, which does actually keep accurate time, a timer. That's really it. I have to clean this up a little bit. There's like some stuff on here I couldn't get off. I'm gonna clean it up a little better. But the rest of the unit I cleaned up. I just didn't do too much of the controls because I didn't want to get it wet. Because I forgot to clean the controls until after I had it in the wall, and I'm like, it's plugged in, it's running, it's cooling. I'm just gonna leave it for now. And there's just a couple little marks on it really that have to come off. Otherwise, it's clean. Filter pulls out here. You know, there's a screw back here behind the filter that you remove to take the front cover off. The wire can come out this side, but I have it run out this side. Like I said, I know this is really not technically the right installation of an outlet box, but for now it's fine. Once I get the drywall in, I have the little guys that'll go on there and it'll hold it into the drywall. But anyway, that's about it. Thank you for watching. And that's my 1992 GoldStar 10,000 BTU window wall unit.
Happy the man. He leads a simple life. It doesn't have much. It doesn't worry him where you're going.